the news of Obama proving that we had a coup for the last 8 to 10 years. They were the proven lies that they came up with, the conspiracies and the Russia stuff. How did you react to Tulsi Gabbard when she released that?
Well, the tough thing for me was I learned it the Wednesday before when we were up there talking to DOJ, and yet sworn on an oath of silence. And I think I even maybe
Okay, so that brings me to my next question: who's going to be the special counsel?
I don't know. I hope like heck it's Ed Martin, but who knows? We're playing musical chairs up there right now with Alina Habba losing her.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of her.
Yeah, and then somebody's going to need to replace her unless Trump can come up with a clever way, and I think he is, to have her continue on as acting U.S. attorney.
Why are they trying to get rid of her?
Well, because she supported Donald Trump. That's all you need. And Chuck Schumer was harpooning her nomination, and our idiot Mitch McConnell has this honor amongst thieves provision where if Chucky doesn't want somebody, then the Republicans go along with it. Crap, pardon my language. They don't do us that favor. I mean, if we want somebody, they screw us, and if they want somebody, they get it.
He's still there and still making things bad for America.
Yeah,
isn't he?
You know what? On the other topic, I looked yesterday to see what Republican has raised the most money this year.
Yeah,
Lindsey Graham, right? Lindsey Graham. The guy who's my cat's a better Republican than he is.
Really?
Yes. Well, my cat always votes for Republican.
The guy from South Carolina.
Yeah.
And why do you say that?
I'm a bit of a pacifist, and he's never seen a war he didn't like. He wants to kill everybody. And
is there money involved here?
Money, yeah, billions of dollars. And the interesting thing about the defense world is, if you or I go to the 7-Eleven, steal $20, high probability we're going to get arrested and go to jail. Yeah. If you're a defense contractor, you can have trillions of dollars disappear, and nobody cares. Got our buddy Zelensky and his horde in Ukraine, hundreds of billions of dollars with absolutely no accountability, but they do have villas in Switzerland and Lamborghinis, which is exactly what you need to fight a war of desperation against Russia.
Yeah, and that's pretty well known. And those wars came after Trump was elected, and there's seems to be, these oligarchs are up there with the money. We have those oligarchs in the Republican Party, crazy idiot. What's his name? I don't know. Anyways, but
you would be talking about Elon, would you?
No, I was talking about the old guy.
Oh,
the old guy from Vermont, Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the oligarchs, those horrible oligarchs, we got to get rid of those guys. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a bunch of money. No.
Yeah, he's the world's richest communist, right? He's got all kinds of bucks. But in all seriousness, I mean, the folks at my end of the spectrum are really kind of at wit's end about what's going on right now with Pam Bondi and the Justice Department and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. I mean, here it is 6 months into the presidency. Has anybody been arrested? Has anybody been indicted? I mean, and then the president, you can't walk this back. Trump 2 days ago just flat out said that Obama had engaged in treason. Well, treason is, like that death penalty type stuff, right? Let alone just getting arrested or getting indicted. I mean, the documents that Tulsi has define without any doubt that these folks sat around in the Situation Room, everybody at the highest level of government, Clapper and Brennan and Comey and Obama, and launched a conspiracy. I mean, the intelligence report was that Russia had neither the interest nor ability to affect the American election. Yeah. And they put that in writing, and then that was pulled from the Daily Briefing. That was December the 8th. December the 9th, Obama calls the Security Council meeting and says, we need to now investigate not whether or not Russia was involved in Trump's campaign, but how it was, right?
Yeah.
We just would take the exact opposite.
Wait a minute. Take the people back to when this was. This was right after the 2016 election in December, before Trump took power, and suddenly he's changed his whole intel, which is telling him 18 agencies are telling him there's nothing to this Russia thing.
Yeah.
All right. All of a sudden, on December the 8th, he does what?
December the 9th, he calls a Security Council meeting, which is something that the president only calls under situations of international crisis, and he instructs the heads of all of his intelligence agencies to investigate Russia's interference in the election and support of and Trump's collusion with the Russians, all of which he knew was a complete lie. All of which all those guys in the room knew was a complete lie. And then think about right before the election with a Hunter Biden laptop, right? Which everybody knew.
Now we're into the 2020 election, right?
Yeah. And yet 51 intelligence agents, including the above mentioned, Clapper and Brennan, all say, oh, this is just Russian misinformation and disinformation, when they all knew it was all true. And so people are saying, for example, I hear even Fox talking heads. I shouldn't say even Fox anymore, because Fox has gone completely over to the side of the darkness. But saying this all happened back 10 years ago, who cares? Well, it happens 10 years ago and 9 years ago.
You're including people like Maria Bartiromo, who I think is legit. Is she not?
Well, I used to always say, and I still say, I watched her this morning, for example.
Yeah.
But I used to always say the only two guys at Fox I trusted were Tucker Carlson and Maria Bartiromo. And now, of course, they fired Tucker. I still like Maria. I think she's honest. I don't think she's bought off. But you got to imagine, and I probably told this on your program before, but I used to have this cartoon on the wall of my office where a guy's talking to his school-age daughter and says, who does a congressman work for? And she says, the people. And he says, well, let me rephrase the question. Let's assume you're running for a job that pays $174,000 a year for 2 years, but it costs $30 million to get that job. Now, who does a congressman work for? And she says, the highest bidder, right?